Jason Fisher, right? Okay. So, Mr. Fisher, you're charged with two cases. You're charged with driving while intoxicated. Second offense, you're also charged with failure to stop and give information. You have worked out an agreement where they're offering you 180 days in jail with 72 days credit on the DWI second, and they're going to dismiss, I would assume, the FSGI.
And there's a kind of felony that was keeping him in custody.
Got it. Is this what you want to do?
Yes.
You need to understand, Mr. Fisher, that from now on, if you pick up any more DWIs, you'll be looking at yet another felony. We're not asking for much, man. All we want our streets to be safe. Here, we have a...
Clarification and reaction. A second DWI is a major escalation, moving the offense from a typical misdemeanor to one that carries significantly...
Second DWI and a crash? What's it going to take? Kill someone? You know? Do you want to end up with a 50-year sentence? Next time you ever get into a car and you get pulled over, all officers do is they look at your record, and that's all they care about. So if they pull you over, they see that DWI, FSGI, DWI, possession, and they come to you and they smell alcohol or dope. What do you think they're going to do? You think they're going to be nice? Probably not. Don't get into a car if you've had anything to drink. You understand? Are you sure?
Yes, sir.
You're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law. You give up the right to appeal. This will go on your record. It's going to be there for the rest of your life. You can never take it off. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
How do you plead to the offense of driving while intoxicated, second offense? I will find you guilty. I am going to suspend your license for 2 years. Do not drive until you get a license. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, good luck. I don't know if you think that this is a...
I'm sorry.
Canales.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. Shatori, you're killing.
That's my fault.
He's testified to
How many times?
3 times.
That is unacceptable. And if it were me, we'd be done. They see fit to put you into an intensive outpatient treatment. You have 2 weeks to enroll. And I'm going to tell you right now, you ever test positive again, I'm going to immediately set your case for trial. You get no more resets. Do you understand? Okay.
Yes.
I want you tested 2 times a week for the remainder. Okay? You will now be tested every Monday and every Thursday for the remainder of this program. And if you use again, and I don't care what it is, and I don't care what your excuse is, you will be set for trial.
Reaction and audience engagement. Stop right there. Mr. Alexis Jones's list of alleged offenses reads like a movie script for a night gone completely wrong. Driving erratically, DWI.
Okay. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you, Judge.
Is it okay if he tests in that region, or would you like?
No, I'm okay, of course. I don't care where, as long as he's doing it 2 times a week.
Okay.
No, I got it.
Judge, we'll be bringing out Mr. Alexis Jones.
Suravov,
Yes, sir.
you are charged with evading arrest or detention and driving while intoxicated. It's elevated to a Class A misdemeanor because of the high blow. You are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
Officers were dispatched to 300 Memorial City Way, which is the Memorial City Mall, for a male detained on suspicion of driving while intoxicated. Defendant was observed by officers as well as several security officers driving erratically in the parking lot by failing to stop at a designated stop sign in that parking lot. The defendant was observed on security cameras stepping out of his gray BMW sedan, expose his genitalia, and urinate next to his rear driver's side tire. Officers made contact with the defendant and smelled the strong odor of alcohol, slurred speech, and observed 2 empty containers in the vehicle. Officers detained the defendant. Defendant was erratic.
Drinking while driving?
Containers in the car, Your Honor. Defendant was erratic once placed in the back of the patrol vehicle and continuously banged his head on the window. Defendant spit at a security officer, which made contact with that security officer's left cheek. Defendant denied drinking. Standard field sobriety tests were conducted. Following results: 4 of 6 HGN, 5 of 8 walking, 3 of 4 one-leg stand. As far as the evading goes, Your Honor, officers attempted to grasp the defendant in order to detain him while he was being detained, to try to put handcuffs on him. The defendant was able to slip out and evade it for approximately 100 feet before he was once again detained and placed in the handcuffs at the back of the car.
I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward in both of your cases. I am now taking away your privilege to drive. You are not allowed to drive whatsoever for any reason, and I don't give a rat's behind what your excuse is. If I find that you do, I can have a contempt hearing. You can be facing an additional 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you drive. Do you understand? I am now sending you for a drug and alcohol test. I want to know what, if anything, is in your body. If you fail to take the test, if you fail to come back, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. You are to come back, and then we will continue on your bond conditions. If you have a problem with drugs or alcohol, you better address it. Because if you don't, I'm going to do it for you. And I promise you're not going to like the way that I do it. Do you understand? As it stands now, you will get a scram device that I'm going to put on your ankle so I know that you're not consuming alcohol or anything else at any time. And I'm going to drug test you like crazy. At the first instant you use anything, I will make your bond so high, you'll have patches of hair falling out. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Come up here, swear to us that you're not going to drive, and then we'll send you for a drug test, and then we'll have you come back.
I'm here on Alexander Storvald.
Okay, come up. Great to see you.
I know, good to see you.
Been a while,
I
huh?
know.
We sent him for a test.
Yes.
Yes, judges presented for morphine.
Morphine.
Judge, he broke his arm and he's on Tylenol with codeine, and he got out of the hospital March 28th, and they had also given him stuff there. And we do have a prescription. So I don't want you to be upset about that. You can be upset about other things, but not that.
How long? Because they don't give that very much now at all, if ever. Are they giving these kind of... So I'm going to test you like crazy to ensure that you're not using. I'd like a copy of the prescription. I want to know how many pills there are so that we know how long he's taking it. Because if he's testing positive for weeks upon weeks, then it's unacceptable. If I find that you're using, if I find that you're using alcohol, if I find that you're a danger to my community, I only have one place for you. Do you understand? I will do everything in my power to protect my community at all costs. I don't care who you are. I don't care what color you are. Do you understand? So he gets tested weekly from now on so that we know how much he's using. You have a lawyer. It is your responsibility to stay in touch with her. If she tells me she can't get a hold of you because you're playing games or you pick up a new case, you're not allowed to drive. Do you understand? If I find that you drive, that would be the absolute worst, and you're looking at a possible contempt charge. You understand? Okay?
Judge, if I could ask one thing, I wasn't here for bond conditions, and there's got an ankle monitor.
So, right. He was cramped, so he's not using alcohol. I put a GPS on him so he's not out in the middle of the night, because I don't want him out in the middle of the night as well.
Okay, so it was just he works at a mall, and he sometimes closes at 9, so it's just 9 to 6. I was just saying, could we make it 10? Because if you close, okay, thank you. Okay, thank you, Judge.
Good luck. Ms. Burgos, you were charged with driving while intoxicated. You have worked out an agreement where they're offering you 45 days in jail with 15 days credit. You give up a lot of rights by entering into this agreement. You need to understand that after today, this charge will go on your record. It will be there for the rest of your life. If you ever get pulled over in a car and you smell like alcohol or dope,
Notice how every DWI plea comes with the same warning. Your next mistake won't be treated like a mistake. Judges emphasize this because they've seen too many repeat offenders cycle through like it's a loyalty program. This is the legal version of, I better not see you back here.
and an officer sees this, it's probably not going to go well for you. From now on, you are looking at a minimum of 30 days in jail for any new cases that you pick up. You're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers, right to be arraigned, charged directly in open court. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law. You give up the right to appeal. So once you plead guilty, you can never change this. Knowing all this, do you still want to do this?
Usted almost quiere seguir adelante. Yes,
How do you plead to the driving while intoxicated? Guilty or not guilty?
guilty.
I'm going to find you guilty. I will follow the agreement. I'm going to suspend your ability to drive or your ability to get a license for 90 days. Do not drive until you get a license. Good luck to you, man. Thank you. Mr. Ruba, you were placed on probation for racing on a highway. It has now come to my attention that you have now violated this probation. Is it true or untrue?
Sure.
Okay, I'm now going to revoke your probation and reform the judgment. It will now reflect as a conviction on your record. The agreement is 30 days in jail with credit for the 1 day that you have done. I am allowing you to turn yourself in April 18th, 2025 by 6 p.m. If you fail to turn yourself in, we will have a contempt hearing. You can be facing an additional 6 months in jail and a $500 fine. Do you understand? If you are someone who is perpetually late to everything, this is one of the worst things because if you arrive at 6:01, they will not take you and it will not go well for you. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
All right. So is it true or untrue that you violated your probation?
Sir, good.
Is it true or untrue? It's true. All right. I'm going to find that it's true. Do you have a copy of the motion? Which one are we going with? Is it the one failure to do the effective decision making? I think so, yes. Yeah, let's do the effective decision making. All right. All right. Mr. Rubio, I don't know if DPS is going to suspend your license. If you don't have a license, do not drive. If you don't have a license and liability, don't drive, because if you get into an accident, you maim someone, they're going to come after you for $50,000 to $100,000, and then you're going to be in the hole forever. You understand? All right, good luck.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Can I get him over here?
You are Lawrence Alawar. Mr. Alawar, you're charged with possession of a controlled substance. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
I'm sorry, at the last.
Alawar, please.
On March 24th, 2025, at 5:40 p.m., officers were flagged down by a business owner at 8920 Gulf Freeway. The owner of the business stated that the defendant did not have business to conduct the location and wanted to have a trespass warning against him from that location. Officers made contact with the defendant, leading against the vehicle with the front driver door open. Officers observed the odor of marijuana emanating from the vehicle. Probable cause search was conducted and officers found an empty cigarette pack with pills, which based on the color and markings and the officer's training and experience believed to be Xanax. Officers weighed those to be 0.53 grams. The defendant did not have a prescription for the Xanax. The defendant stated he's the owner of the vehicle and he's the sole driver of the vehicle. The defendant stated he had just bought the vehicle but did not change the title to his name and he did not know anything about the pills.
Got it. Mr. Alawar, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with your case. Have you looked up his license, see if he has a valid license?
And I don't see a DL number on file.
If you do not have a Texas driver license and liability insurance, you're not allowed to drive. Do you understand? You will be signing an affidavit with me today promising you're not going to drive without either. If I find that you do, I can have a contempt hearing. You can be facing an additional 6 months in jail and a $500 fine. Every time you drive. Do you understand? You're not to go back to the business that's listed in this place. You're not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you have a drug or alcohol problem, I'm going to address it for you, and I promise you're not going to like the way that I do it. Do you understand? Mr. Alawar, do you have the ability to hire a lawyer?
No.
I'll have you, Deputy Miranda's going to give you an application. I'm going to have you fill it out. I need to know everything about you to see whether you qualify for an appointed lawyer. If you do, I'll provide you a lawyer today. Don't pick up any new cases. Otherwise, it's not going to go well for you. Do you understand? Okay, Deputy Miranda, do you mind? Please? Thanks.
Judge, is that free-for-all bond conditions?
No, he's going to be monitored. David Gonzalez.
Yes, sir.
David Gonzalez, you're charged with tampering with the government record. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
On March 24th, 2025, officers were on patrol in East Alden Management District in Harris County, Texas. Officers conducted a traffic stop on a motor vehicle that failed to display a license plate. Upon approaching the motor vehicle, officers observed a temporary tag that expired on 10/29/2024. The defendant was identified by his APHIS mugshot and SPIN number. The defendant stated he knew the temp tag presented did not belong to the motor vehicle. Officers concluded that the defendant knowingly presented a record with his knowledge of fault.
This judge is basically running a masterclass on how not to get locked up. When he repeats the driving restrictions, that's not nagging. It's the legal equivalent of flashing neon lights saying, "Do not test this system." Temporary tags, no license, no insurance. This guy's bingo card is almost full.
Defendant did not have an ID on him. TCIC searched the tags, came back to a different motor vehicle. Officers discovered the vehicle was salvaged and should not be operated on a motor vehicle. The vehicle then shown on the vehicle was registered in South Carolina. Temporary tags that were displayed were for vehicle registered in Texas.
Okay. Did you run his license? See if you have a
I'll check
license.
that.
Please.
That's eligible, Your Honor.
Mr. Gonzalez, you are not allowed to drive unless you have a valid Texas driver license and liability insurance in your name. You must maintain car insurance. If I find that you're driving, you don't have car insurance or you don't have a valid license, I will revoke your bond and put you in jail. Do you understand? Do you have the ability to hire a lawyer, sir?
No.
Okay, I'll have you fill out an application to see whether you qualify for an appointed lawyer. I need to know everything about you and I'll take a look. We're going to have you sign documents here promising us you're not going to drive without a valid license and insurance. And after that, I'll take a look at your application. If you want to head on over to Deputy Miranda, he'll give it to you, sir. You are Josue Ibarra.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Ibarra, you're charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
This is under 21, Your Honor.
Okay, is that all you have?
I mean, Your Honor, statements on this,
Officers were on 3/24/2025. Officers were on routine patrol with live witness. Witness stated to officers that he observed a defendant assaulting a female in a apartment complex. Witness told officers that the witness saw the defendant displaying a firearm towards the female. Officers located the defendant while the defendant was yelling at the female. Officers told the defendant to lay on the ground. Defendant stated he did not have any weapons on him. Officers conducted a pat down. Defendant felt a bulge in the defendant's ankle. Officers recognized this to be a firearm. Officers retrieved the handgun from the defendant. Female advised officers that she was not assaulted. NCIC, TCIC check revealed the firearm was reported stolen. Officers observed that the defendant was previously arrested, also previously dealt.
Reaction and summary/transition. This judge is basically running a master class on how not to get locked up. When he repeats the driving restrictions, no license, no insurance, that's not nagging. It's the legal equivalent of flashing neon lights saying, "Do not test this system." And then you have Mr. Gonzalez's case, tampering with a government record, a felony-level offense for using a fake or expired temp tag on a salvaged vehicle. Temporary tags, no license, no insurance. This guy's bingo card is almost full. He's putting his freedom at risk over a license plate. The judge's immediate threat to revoke bond and put him in jail is a necessary consequence to prevent further law-breaking on the roads. This clearly shows that the court is just as concerned about fraud and records violations as it is about DWIs, especially when those violations enable unsafe driving. We transition now to a case involving an even more dangerous scenario, a stolen firearm and domestic disturbance.
It was okay then. Why are you afraid? I'm like, okay. So learned. Saque las manos del bolsillo. Nomás escucho la pregunta. Usted
You are Guillermo Vasquez.
Guillermo
Vasquez, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and/or a $2,000 fine. You have worked out an agreement where they're offering you 3 days in jail with credit for the 1 day that you have done. You need to understand that you're making a lifetime decision today. This DWI will now go on your record. What we are doing today, from now on, you're facing a minimum of 30 days in jail for any new cases that you pick up. So if you're not in this country with permission, you do that kind of time, I can almost guarantee that you will get an immigration detainer. Do you understand?
Yes.
You give up a lot of rights by entering into this agreement. You give up the right to have a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law. You give up the right to appeal. Once you accept this agreement, you can never take it off. Is this what you want to do?
¿Qué desea hacer? Esto es lo que usted desea hacer.
Sí, sí, sí.
Yes, yes.
Sí, sí, sí.
How do you
Yes, yes.
the offense of driving while intoxicated, guilty or not guilty?
Culpable.
Guilty, guilty, guilty.
Find you guilty,
Te voy a hallar
all the
culpable,
agreement.
sí,
I want you to understand, Mr. Vasquez, that if you're ever pulled over
Si usted lo para,
from now in the future, first thing an officer does is they're going to look at your record. If they see that you have a prior DWI, they roll to your window and they smell alcohol, it's probably not going to go well for you. So I would never, even if you've had a sip of alcohol, I wouldn't get into the car.
te metas en un auto.
No.
Your lawyer is asking me to waive the mandatory fines and fees. That's around $3,000 to $4,000. I will do it because this is his first offense. If you come back here with a second DWI, it's $6,000 of fines and fees and a minimum of 30 days in jail. So get a clue. Do you understand?
¿Usted lo entiende?
Sí, lo entiendo.
Yes, I understand.
Good luck, sir.
Buena suerte, señor.
Gracias.
Thank you.